something to say, there's something to say.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Our House 21 here, and now we're going to go ahead and get to this Boca bearing swap. So you see in front of me, we got Slade, and over in the station next to me, you know, Kyle is working on Traxxas. So we're doing some family wrenching right now.
Don't call it that.
Don't call what? Family wrenching. That's
No.
what it is. You don't like family wrenching?
No.
What's wrong with family wrenching? I didn't say family retching. I mean,
What is that? Yeah.
retch when you throw up, puke.
I understand. Continue.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start off by going after the front bearings. Now you see here for Slade, I've got the aluminum caster blocks on and RPM front arms to help add a little extra durability in case of a wreck. But same parts are present in the stock configuration, so this is the same steps. So as you see, with all the Traxxas 10 scale models, you've got the front wheels are held on by these little retaining blocks, and as you can see right here, being a two-wheel drive model like the two-wheel drive Slash and the Rustler, you know, this is pretty much the only thing that's holding together. Now, if I had a lot of slop in the suspension, this would be a good time to go in and add some extra washers to make everything nice and tight. So, and actually I do have a little bit of slop in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put the washers in as a process as I put this thing back together. So, and for you guys know, so to use this is the Traxxas 1985 Teflon coated, although they can't say Teflon because that's trademark, but I can say it. But PTFE, that's the street name of Teflon, and it's polyteflo. I'll slice in the full chemical name, but anyway, PTFE is Teflon.
Wait, you can say it, but they...
Well, it's trademarked. So if they want to advertise these as Teflon coated, they have to pay a royalty to DuPont, who I believe owns the trademark for Teflon. However, the chemical for Teflon, the PTFE, you know, that's just a chemical. So, okay, so that's a little bit about trademark law for people who are interested in that. All right, so now I just need to grab a flathead screwdriver. So this just comes in and you just pop in here, get in this area, and just do a little twist and it pops right off. So now I can pull this apart. Retainer comes off, or the hub. Now I can, oh, that little retaining pin just came right out. And so now you've got this little pin that's here that holds on the axle. So I've got one washer sitting right here. Put that down. Now I can push this pin out on this side. And ta-da, done. So looking inside of here, well, you can see there's a bearing on the inside and there's a bearing on the outside. So me, having done this particular job before, I know I can use this as a little tool and I can persuade this guy to come out like that. Be careful doing this though, because basically I'm just using the threads to lock onto the outer side. You can overdo this and you can mess up your bolt. So just be careful with it and you work it out. These have been in here for a while, so they don't, you gotta persuade them a little bit, but this just comes right out. So now, on the other side, you can see, I can see right through. So I can use a tool, and I'm gonna try this guy right here, this little Allen wrench, see if that works. So if it's the right size, I can just, well actually this guy's a little bit too big. So let me just take a second and find something that's just the right size. I can just poke that right through. Well, let's try this guy.
What are you looking for?
I was just looking for a tool that's just the right size to go ahead and pop this bearing out. So actually this will do the job. He's in there pretty good though. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this the right way. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this caster block off It's only secured by a couple of pieces here. So,
That'll take a long time, Father.
okay, peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery.
Yes, the peanut gallery. That's an expression for, you know, old school movie theaters where you had people in a section.
So those, like,
offering
those
up
old people was just like do like the laugh track and stuff
something like that.
in those live TV shows.
Okay, but like I said, don't need comments from the peanut gallery right now.
But sometimes you need comments. And I'm about to use that.
Okay, well, I'll give right back to you. 1 second.
That's what they always say.
All right, so that's off. Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, I need this. So this top one is secured by 5.5 millimeter here. So like I said, this popped right off here. So I'm just gonna, just for completeness sake, for the video, pull that off here. And like I said, I didn't really need to pull that off to get access, but I'm just doing it because to show the full process. The other side, I may not do this one. Okay, so now here's the steering arm, comes right off. This upper camber link comes right off. So this is threaded in, so it's not going to come right out, but that's okay because I still have access. Bless you, Nathan. Okay, Kyle, what are you looking for, sir?
The little thing for the wheels.
The little thing for the wheels.
Look onto the thing over here.
It's called a socket, sir.
Oh,
And it's right
that's
here.
where it is.
He's looking for that. Okay, here you go. All right, so as you see here, I've had a little bit of rubbing on there. So I'm going to put a Teflon washer in there. I just want to take up a little bit of slop right in there. Everything else on this front end is pretty tight, so I'm not really going to worry about that. So let me, again, find the right tool to push that bearing out.
Yep, I just killed all my slop.
So Kyle actually watched one of my videos. I'm amazed.
You're sounding like I never watch your videos. I do.
Yeah, whatever.
Sometimes.
Okay, so I'm using the end of this to just push this bearing out. And he's in here pretty good.
Yeah, I just killed everything. That sounds wrong if you bring it out of context.
A lot of things sound wrong when you bring it out of context. Okay, so that doesn't want to move. Let me go ahead and give a little bit of liquid persuasion down in there. See if I can help this out.
Liquid persuasion.
Liquid persuasion. Now you got to be careful with this because that WD-40 can actually get, if you plan to reuse these bearings, the WD-40 can get inside the seals and it can actually dissolve the grease that's inside of there. And that could be bad.
That means bears.
Well, this means you need to redo your, that worked, but that just means that you might need to service or re-lubricate your bearings if you want to reuse them. So just in case you're wondering, this is a good reason to pop out your bearings every now and then just for routine maintenance. 'Cause this guy he's in here pretty tight. Let's try that.
Well, and I am finished.
Well, happy you're finished.
Yeah. You know what that means? I can be your assistant. And just, you know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy off so I can get full access to it. See, something that should have been a 5-minute, not even 5 minutes, a couple minute thing ends up being longer, but that's okay.
That's life in the next time.
Now, just to kind of illustrate things, always remember when you put these things back together, especially these guys, Loctite, blue Loctite is your friend, because if you don't, then it's going to seize. Well, not seize. These guys love to liberate themselves, and I've lost several in the field before I learned that little trick. All right.
You sound like you did war. I lost several in the field.
Well, yeah.
It's not war, Daddy.
Speed is war, son. Speed is war.
And it's why I don't play games with
Okay, so I'm gonna rig something up here. So I'm gonna pull this here so I can get a little bit of torque. So I fed this thing through. So I'm basically making myself a little bearing puller. So I'm gonna use that so I can hold on to it, and then use my little wrench here to give myself some leverage. So, and now good Lord.
what happened.
No, this thing is in here.
There you go. Yeah, what do you say about putting stuff in the center? Okay, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to use a little bit more liquid persuasion here. Now, you guys have heard me rant about aluminum parts before.
Yes.
And like I said, I think that they're great for certain applications. And this is one of the applications that I think are great. However, a problem that you run into with metal on metal, aluminum and steel especially, is they can fuse together.
That would be a bad thing.
Oh, that is a bad thing, because right now I can't get this thing separated. Ah, there we go. That took entirely more force or more work than it should, but I was able to get this thing apart. Okay, so that's good. So now, let's go ahead. Kyle, washers? Right here.
You're the last one that I have to find.
So now let's go ahead and I can put this, I'll put this axle back together and then just put it back on the car as a whole unit. I'm just going to get in here, just try to get some of the grease out or some of the dirt out of here. So get it nice and clean. And just to make it so that this probably won't fuse quite as easily again, I want to take a little bit of my friend Phil's lube. Now, I don't have to use Phil's. Boca makes lubricant, makes lots of lubricant to go along with your bearings too. So this is just, I'm just gonna put a little light coat of lubricant inside the cup, just so that it helps things don't fuse. I'm sure Boca's bearing will work. Boca's lubricant will do this job just as well as anything else. Just you want to have something there so that you don't have the straight metal and metal that we had before.
Oh, there it is. I feel dumb when you're looking for something that's right in front of you.
Well, that's the universe, son. That's the universe. All right.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, yes, yes.
Spoiler alert.
Just be happy you're on camera right now. Because how I would normally respond to something that so side note here, the boy's been going through a thing lately where he's been talking about dad jokes, but he likes,
you do it all the time.
okay, but these things that you throw in are worse than any dad joke that I've ever heard. I'm just saying. Okay. So
I just saying, I'm Kyle.
that's horrible. That's truly horrible. Okay, so like I said, so I just went down through here, put a little bit, just a little bit of lube on the aluminum surface before I put the bearings in place. And just to show you guys, I think I've shown you this last time. This is a nice little mouse pad that the guys at Boca gave me, and it has all the Boca bearings identified by their model number. this is a nice good reference point. So you see here, this guy, well, I actually could see the model number. Okay, that's SMR 115C. So we jump through here. Okay, so this is, you know, the R115s. C is for ceramic. So you can see right here, that's a 115, which is a 5mm axle, 11mm outside, or something like that. Hey Nathan. Alright, so let's go ahead and press this guy in place. Hi Robin. Hi Nathan. Yes, I'm filming.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Family moment.
Everyone wants to come in and say hi.
Nate wants to watch TV. No, Nathan, would you please watch some TV?
No thanks.
Okay, so now I'm pressing this in from the outside. There we go. So now we have one corner ceramic bearings in place. So let's go ahead. Let me wipe my hand so I don't get grease where I don't want it to go. So now let's go ahead and get this back together. So I'm going to need a couple extra bearings here. I mean a couple extra washers. So I'm going to have one more to fit to help loosen up, well, take up some suspension slot, and one more inside here. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this guy together. I'm going to put a washer on the outside before I put it in. Here's wash, go in like here. So now one more washer on the outside here, like so. Now let's get the retaining screw, or little retaining plug, bolt, whatever it is. Put this guy in here. And this guy is actually pretty tight. So let me make sure it rolls okay. Okay, it feels a little stiff, but that's okay because the ceramic bearings, they need to break in a little bit, and you're going to see the break-in process here shortly. Nathan, why are you crying?
Adam, put him down for a quick second.
Yes, Nathan? Okay, give me one moment, sir.
Nate, come over here. Never mind.
Nathan wants some little attention. Okay, Nathan. Careful, careful. Okay. So, now I'm going to take Alright, so it seems that in all the confusion there, one of my Teflon washers has liberated itself from the fray. It's okay. Nathan, don't kick the camera, sir. The people in the YouTube universe won't appreciate that.
They won't mind if some cute little babies kicking it.
Okay, so this piece goes back in here. I need to slip this washer in place to hold everything together. Oops. Let's try that again. So get the washer in here. Nathan. Okay, get this washer in place. Nathan just dropped one of my bolts. Okay guys, let's try that again. Take two. Yeah, so if you are really careful and you look through, you can actually get your eye line so you can look right through this little hole and see when you are clear, and kind of work this pin through. There we go. So that lines up now. So now I'm able to go in and use the magic of tools to work this thing in. Yep, that's the right guy. So remember, I mean, in this case you're actually going metal into metal, but you still want to be careful not to over torque things. Actually no, you're going into the plastic here. So you don't want to strip things out. So that goes in there. So I can turn this around on this side. And again, so this is metal into metal as well. So let me get this started by hand. Okay, so this goes through like this. The little retaining nut comes out in the front. And let me just go ahead and hand torque that just to make sure that it's good. Tight. Now, again, it has a little retaining nut on the outside. I have to use Loctite on the bolt there, but I also have these little lock washers as well. So between the Loctite and the lock washer, you know, that thing shouldn't be moving at all. Had the wrong size there. I used a 5.5 millimeter. Yeah, so that goes right here, nice and secure. All right, so now you get to go ahead and do this again for the other side. So you can see, oh wait. Finish to, or remember to put the suspension link back on. There we go. There. Now torque this guy back down by hand. Yep, there we go. All right. Okay. This is all together. Now put the little retaining hub back on. Okay, squeeze. There we go. Nice, tight, low, no slop. So, or very, very little slop. All right, so that corner's good. And you can see I compared to, we can't really tell from the video, but this is a lot tighter now than this side. So let me just go ahead and repeat. And I'll just go ahead and keep you guys running. Again, in the interest of unabridged videos. Okay, so now that this little guy's off, I'll go ahead and pull off this guy right here as well. All right, and get the last bolt on the back there. All right, so now this guy comes off as a complete unit again. As you can see from right here. Oh, and I got to take that guy off the back. All right, so now this is all apart, just like the last one. So now, see here again, reach in, get a little twist, this pops right off, like so. And just kind of showing here, see there's an in and out motion. So that's a little bit of slop. So I'm going to use the washers to take that out while I'm doing this as well. So pin comes right out. Pull this whole guy out as an assembly. Okay. There's the old washer. Comes out there. So same as before. Got bolts here in the front. This one wants to actually come out a little easier. That's fine. Okay. And again, like I said, be careful with this process, especially if you want to reuse these for a different model. Let's see if I can get the other one out. Okay. And this is the same process as before. Just putting this on to give you something to grab onto. Okay, you might have to use a little liquid persuasion on this one too. All right, let me just try one good big pull. There it is. And you can see, like down inside of here, you got a little bit of surface corrosion, and that's just probably from water getting inside of here. So that corrosion was fusing the two pieces together. So even though it's aluminum and steel here, there we go. Yeah, it still does bind up a little bit. So that's another reason to just go ahead and use a little bit of lubrication on the cups or on the bearings before you put them back in. So, all right, let me go ahead and get one new bearing out, or one new washer out. It looks like for whatever reason I didn't put a washer on the insides, which I should have done. That would have taken up a little bit of slop in there anyway. So let's go ahead and get the ceramics out. And just leave a couple extras. Okay, this time I'm going to put the grease on the outside edge here. And you just kind of loop it around. And the only reason I'm doing this again is just to try to keep from binding up in the cups. So I'm also going to take a little bit of tissue, just make sure that the cups are clean. Okay, yep, there's a little bit of grunge down in there. So this one that I just lubed up, I'm going to slide this one in place, like so. And I'll do another one the same way. And like I said, you don't have to use Phil's grease. Anything that can get down in there and just basically stop the two surfaces from fusing together will work just fine. I say this stuff is kind of nice because it repels water, but there's a lot of nice water repellent greases out there. Okay, so like I said, I'm pretty sure Boca's in-house grease does the job just fine. So again, putting Teflon washer in place. Let's try this to see how much slop we have in it. There we go. Push it through. And that is nice. No slop in there at all. And this one's spinning along really freely. Very cool. That's interesting. Okay, this one isn't quite as free as this one was, or is. So it might just be the fact that there's a little bit more grease kind of loosely in here. Or as opposed to this guy's gonna have to loosen up a little bit more. So I think it'd be fine. Alright, so let me go ahead and get this back together. So I have one more little washer. Again, I have to squeeze down in here to take up a little extra suspension slop. And again, the suspension slop is kind of normal on anything that has a lot of plastic pieces. As as things wear, you end up getting just material rubs away, and that material that the voids become slop. So if you just want to keep your suspension nice and tight, then this is a pretty simple thing to do. And of course, I just managed to drop my washer and I didn't see where it mounts, so I'm just go ahead and grab another one. Take two. And again, you can get just the right angle in here where you can see down this shaft and see when you've got it through. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I can see I got a clear hole in here now. At least I had a clear hole. Let's try that again. There we go. Feed this guy in. There it is. Tighten this down. Again, don't want to use too much because basically this pin is just being held in. Yeah, the pin is just being held in by the friction into the plastic there, so you don't really want to get too much down in there or torque it down too tight, because all you're going to do is strip out the hole. Okay, and again on the back here, this is now into aluminum, but again, you don't want to torque it too much because you don't want to strip out the aluminum hole. That will be very, very bad. Now I get to tighten up these 5.5mm bolts. One on the front side, one on the back, and like I said, I use the ones that have the little the locking versions. That just makes it a little bit easier for it not to work its way out. A little bit of Loctite on these things also works to your advantage. Now let's reattach the steering arm. And for those who aren't sure about which way it goes through, these particular ones have a flat side up top and a little cone section on the bottom. The little cone goes against the metal, and the little flat side is where your bolt goes into. There's two styles of these. Some of them are the same on both sides. Some of them are different. The ones that are different, like I said, the flatter side is where you actually put your nut or your bolt up against. So, again, because I like to do some things by hand just to make sure I don't over torque things. There we go. Actually feels like that's turning on me. So because this guy is, Slade started off life as a standard Rustler, which I converted to VXL specs. So because of that, I've actually got a mix of screws and bolts on here. So I actually bought a screw kit from Dollar Hobby to convert it to 100% VXL. But you know what? I mean, I figure that it's not that much work to just go ahead and convert everything over, but I just decided to leave well enough alone. It's kind of history now. It's a little bit of Slade's past. So, let me just go ahead and do the same thing here. So, alright, so we'll just tighten down or pop in this last front end here, or this last retainer, and Slade's front end will be done. So then it's time to go ahead and do the rear axle, and then we can do the transmission. And actually I may do that as one piece, just because I have to take it apart the same way. Alright guys, so see, front end all together. So now we have a very slippery, very efficient front end. Cool. Alright, stay tuned for the next piece. Our House 21 signing off, and always remember to fly, fix, fly, break it, fix it, do it all over again. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to check me out on social media. That's Facebook or Instagram and all the other places. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Peace.